I feel like getting real close to the camera and being like, it's the last Stash Cast. And just like having my fucking curly ass mustache be like the only thing that they see. Oh, look at that. Not bad. Call me Cousin Creepy.
What's your alpaca guy's name?
Gunther?
Yeah. You got that.
You kind of look like him right now.
Fuck.
We need like an intro music.
No, he's more.
Nah.
He's more at right now.
DBZ on the track. DBZ on the
You know this song?
Oh yeah! Why would this be our intro song of all songs?
I feel like this is the way I live.
No, we can play this if Max makes weight.
See, this is our song because it's going down at UFC 231. So there's our intro.
Yeah. All right, guys. The last, as we're calling it, Stash Cast. Until we did not mean music. So, what, UFC 231.
Yeah.
Do the breakdown. We're going to start off with the undercard. I'm not going to mention a whole lot of this. The only thing I'm going to mention is the first fight I'll probably watch from this undercard. I don't know if I'll watch the first two, but I'm definitely going to... maybe Diego Lima. I don't know. He's sometimes... He's hit or miss. But... yeah. But Brad Katona, who just won the 145 division of Tough on that... the previous season, so Tough 27. This is, I think, his first UFC appearance outside of that finale that I'm aware of. So, Brad Katona's first fight after winning Tough in the UFC. I'll be watching him to see how he does. He looked good on the show. We'll see if it translates into the actual UFC itself.
Yep. After that, the main event. This is the Fight Pass, by the way, guys. After that, Aleksandar Rakic is the featured prelim on that. He's 10-1. He's a big guy. High knockout rate. He's real exciting. If you got the Fight Pass, I recommend checking him out. I'm starting to become a pretty big fan of his. Yeah. And he's got a pretty decent test against Devin Clark too.
I think just looking into his stats here, he had a 88% knockout rate. I think it was on here. So
tall guy too, 6'4".
Yeah.
6'4", 78-inch reach.
From Austria.
Yep.
Of all places. So
Austrians UFC website says parts unknown.
Yeah, he's not listed. He doesn't have the country listed on the UFC website.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. UFC's website is spot on all the time.
All right, so first prelim on the actual prelim card. So OBM or OAM. Olivia Aubin-Mercier.
Yep.
I was emphasizing the B in his name, but he's fighting Gilbert Burns.
Should be a pretty good fight.
That should be a pretty good fight. That was actually a pretty close one. I was thinking about how this fight could potentially go. I see Olivier potentially getting a third round submission, maybe midway through the third round is kind of how I was seeing it go, but it could go either way.
I think it's going to be a pretty back and forth fight. If there's any fight on the undercard that has a chance at taking fight of the night, it's going to be, I would say, probably that one.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the fight stats here, OAM wins his fights 75% of the time via submission. So, I mean, that's not a bad pick.
Yeah.
And going off his previous fight styles, he loves to take you down, wrestle you, and
yeah, his last several wins that he's had, I think, have come from like mid to later round submissions. So
yeah,
cardio is not a question with him.
So. No, he's in that GSP mold. Exactly. I think he trains at a TriStar too. So
yeah, so yeah, he'll be close to home.
Yeah, he'll be right down.
Averages almost 3 takedowns. Fight.
Yeah, and Burns doesn't have a good takedown defense.
No.
Yeah, so I got Mercier. Probably third round submission.
I got decision.
I like the third round submission pick as well. I think he's, like you said, 75% via submission. It's either going to be third round or decision. It's just how his fights, he wears you down.
I think that makes sense. So next matchup,
we got the ring guy.
The ring man.
The ring man, not the ring girl.
So we have, what Elias
does WWE
Theodoro?
Stand for?
Oh, gosh. Elias Theodoro versus Eric
with Elias.
Is that what he says? Or are you making that up?
No, there's a guy in WWE whose name is Elias, and that's like his catchphrase.
Oh, I was like, do you guys know more about this guy than I do? But regardless, I think Theodoro with his long mane of hair, I see late second round knockout for Anders. I think Anders is going to put him away at the end of the second round.
Yeah. Theodoro's never been finished, so I agree with the Anders pick, but I got it going to a decision. Anders hits hard. He comes from football, and that's a huge deal. But I think he's a bigger guy. He could probably compete at 205. So I think he just kind of puts his weight on Theodore, wears him out, and puts the pressure on early.
I think that's a tough one. I do like Eric Anders a lot. I like his fight style, like you said, hits hard, exciting. I really want to walk with Elias, but I'm going to pick Anders in a decision. Who wants to walk with Elias?
Ooh, this next one with Jessica Ai and
Caitlin Chookagian.
Yeah, and Chook. I'm just gonna call it Chook. I don't think Jessica Ai has been. I mean,
she hasn't been active for a while.
She fought in June.
She fought in June.
Fought in June.
But before that, hadn't it been a while? Maybe she may have had 2 fights in the last couple of years, but then before that, I feel like it was like 2016 or some shit since the last time that she fought.
Yeah, I think it was the Cleveland card before that.
Yeah, she might have had. No, I think you're right. I think that's it.
She had 2 fights.
Bechkahea in Cleveland. So she's had 3 fights in the last 3 years.
Yeah. I just haven't been impressed any time that I've watched her, in all honesty. I don't remember ever watching Jessica Ai and be like, oh my gosh, like, they better be worried about her.
She was fighting at 135 there for a while. She's pretty undersized there. She dropped down to 125, and I believe she looked, if I remember correctly, I think she looked pretty good against Jessica Rose Clark in that last fight, in her first fight at 125. But on the flip side of that, Caitlin Chookagian's looked really, really good. I mean, even when she was fighting at 35, she still looked pretty
decent. Going off
decent.
what you're saying, I mean, looking at the stats here, Jessica Ai is still going to be undersized here.
Yeah.
3-inch height advantage, 2-inch reach advantage, 4-inch leg reach advantage. So I think that could play a pretty big factor.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to what we're going to see in the main event. You're going to see some reach advantages. So.
Yeah, I don't see this one going to a finish either way, in my opinion.
No.
So I'm going to go with Chook in a decision. But, I mean, this one, I don't know. I'm not super certain on it, but just to the fact that I haven't been super impressed by any of Jessica Ai's performances, and she's had a lot of losses strung together in the past, I'm going to go with Chook via decision. I think as this fight goes on, she might lose some of that confidence that she has and kind of have that doubt in the back of her mind from her previous fights. So, Chook via decision.
Yeah, I'm going to go the same way. I'm going to lean towards Chookagian. I think the bigger fighter, the rangier fighter, and I think it's just going to lean that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same vein. Now with Jessica Ai, her key to going to get that win is going to be to grind it out, take her down, wrestle her, control her. She does have a 71% takedown success rate in the UFC, and Chookagian's takedown defense hasn't been great, but I've still been way more impressed with Chookagian than I have with Jessica Ai, so I got Caitlin with a decision win.
So we're all aligned on that one. Oh, this one, the next female fight, I have much stronger opinions on this one. I think Nina, a.k.a. Nunes woman, is...
Miss Nunes. Mrs.
Nunes. I think she's going to get mollywopped for 3 rounds. I don't think Gadelha's going to finish her, but I think just in Gadelha's fighting styles that she's going to put all the pressure on her, take her down, and grind her out for 3 rounds for probably a 30-26, if I had to guess, at least. So I think Gadelha just mauls her for this entire fight.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Claudia Gadelha has probably the best wrestling throughout the women's division.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen her out wrestle literally everybody at 35 or 115. I'm sorry, and you know, it's just the way it is. And what I know she's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt as well, so I mean she's never going to be lacking there. I think this is going to be decision. Claudia Gadelha, 100% mauling. She's not a finisher. She just wins her fights her way.
Yeah.
If it does sneak to a finish, I would say some rear naked choke or something, maybe third round. But decision's way more likely.
Yeah, I agree. If this was a 5-round fight, maybe Ansaroff, because Gadelha's got a really bad habit of gassing out and
dominating the first 2.5 rounds.
And Ansaroff, I mean, she's got an 80% takedown defense, but the best wrestler she's faced in that time is Ronda Marcos. Not nowhere near the same caliber.
Who didn't even do that hot on the Ultimate Fighter, let alone in the UFC. So.
Yeah, so completely different level here. It's a 3-round fight. I got Gadelha by decision. I think she just kind of takes her down, controls her, beats on her a little bit. I just don't think she's got the size to compete.
I think Ansaroff should go to the body. It's only going to break her hand.
Yikes.
Or shin.
Yeah.
Gadelha is stacked. But, so, that's 2 in a row that we've all chose the same fighter. So
we've chosen the same way on all of them.
So. On all of them?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we all took Anders.
Wow, we really do need Kyle in here.
If we sure do, and we all took OAM.
Okay, well, maybe this one will break it up. So, both of these guys are relatively newer to the UFC.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've only had, what, 2
I think
fights each?
Dawodu's got 2, and Bochniak has 5.
Oh, he has 5 in the UFC? Oh.
He's 2 and 3 in the UFC.
Bochniak,
a year and a half or so in the UFC, I think.
The only...
Something like that.
I don't... In all honesty, the only fight I remember his is Zabit, and I was impressed. I mean, Zabit...
He came away looking tough in that fight.
He looked really good to me, and so just literally based on the performance that I saw him fight against Zabit, and Zabit, we know how well-rounded and how good of a fighter he is, and he was moving forward at him the whole time and just eating everything that he had. I'm actually going to go with Bochniak on this, just because I don't know a whole lot about Dawodu, or however you say Hakeem's last name, but... Dawodu. I'm definitely going to go with Bochniak on this. I was impressed by his toughness, and so if he can bring that to this same fight, I don't think that Hakeem's going to be as well-rounded as Zabit is.
I want to lean that way as well, but his fighting style for me, always just pushing forward, is extremely exciting for a fan to watch, but I don't know a whole lot about Dawodu, but looking at his fight stats, he's won 86% of his fights via knockout. So coming forward like that could be the game changer for Bochniak, because he could be going to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, you just keep pushing forward. No matter how tough you are, it's going to happen at some point.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen. So I'm going to pick Dawodu, even though I don't know as much about him. I've seen Bochniak fight, and I like his fighting style. It's exciting. I think he's a pretty decent fighter. I mean, I don't think he's top-level contender yet.
Yeah.
Not even close. But kid's got potential.
He shows promise, yeah.
And I just don't think there's a good matchup the way styles match up here.
Yeah. I'm with you, Flick. I like Bochniak. He's tough. He comes to fight. He's kind of in that old Diego Sanchez mold where I'm going to bite down on my mouthpiece and I'm coming for your head.
It's kind of like Mike Perry. You can hit me as much as you want, but I'm going to hit you just as hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Dawodu's got a better striking success rate. He absorbs less significant strikes per minute. And I don't... Bochniak's got a 20% takedown success rate in the UFC, and Dawodu's got 100% takedown defense. It's just shaping up to where, I mean, Dawodu lands 5 significant strikes a minute, and Bochniak almost eats that per minute.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of a huge...
Yeah, just a big...
correlation there.
Yep. I think his volume is going to give Bochniak troubles. I don't think he'll finish him. Bochniak, like we said, Bochniak proved pretty tough against Zabit.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a pretty clear 30-27 decision for Dawodu.
Yeah, I could definitely see it going that way. I'm actually just going to pick Dawodu via knockout. Probably, I think second round. I think he's gonna catch him. Just keep pushing forward. You're gonna get that button pushed.
Yeah.
See? I'm gonna go with a third round TKO for Bochniak because Dawodu's going to throw so many punches and he's going to eat them all that he's going to be tired come the third round, and Bochniak's going to catch him while he's tired. There. We finally disagree on something. We got something different in here.
We don't need your ass anymore, Kyle.
All right, now it's time for
the Dick Kick King.
Dick Kick Extraordinaire. Alex Oliveira versus Gunni.
Music queued up.
Gunner. The guy had the best walkout song. Oh, at least, I mean, there have been some really good ones, but
the most catchy.
Solely by being in the arena. When this was in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
We were in Detroit, coming out to this song, watching him dance out to the octagon to this was like one of the coolest experiences of being there. So, with that being said, I'm actually gonna pick Oliveira. He's been doing pretty hot recently. I mean, he had that loss to Yancey, like in
December
Denver,
last year. But
besides that, he's looked really good recently. Yeah. So I'm Team Oliveira. I did not like him before that December card. In all honesty, I just felt like
it's the song.
No. He kicked everyone in the dick all the time.
He still does.
We saw him, I think, 2 or 3 times in total.
I've seen him. I know for sure I've seen him twice.
I think we've seen him twice. I think you've seen him 3 times. But
maybe.
Yeah.
That Detroit card, he came out to the song.
Yeah. He came out to a bumping song.
And he didn't kick anybody in the dick.
He didn't kick one.
He lost that fight.
He might have need Yancey.
Yeah, he got Yancey in the dick.
I think he need him once, but
he put on one of the best fights.
Incredible. He almost knocked Yancey out a couple times, and he earned my respect in that fight. Ever since then, after the walkout, after that banger of a fight with Yancey.
Yeah. If you got 15 minutes, go watch that fight.
Yeah.
It's one of the most exciting fights you'll watch. I agree with you. It's super exciting as of late. Dude, anytime he goes out to the fight, he's looking for a finish.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to go to decision. He may throw a couple accidental dick kicks.
Listen, man, it's not an accident when it happens every fight.
If Joe Rogan was watching this, he'd be like, take a point up every time Oliveira just start crying. I am never going to win.
But I think the dude goes in there with a lot of respect for the sport. So I'm gonna pick Oliveira. I like the way he's been fighting lately. I think he's gonna get a submission late second round.
An interesting pick. Yeah, I'm right along the Oliveira train.
The Oliveira train.
But because I haven't
formed
been
a fan club here.
Yeah. I haven't been impressed
Alex,
with.
if you want to come on the show, we do not know Portuguese. But
yeah, if you need a translator, you better bring one yourself.
But we all have Bailata on all of our phones.
Because of you. Gustavo Lima has made $3 Portuguese from us.
But Gunni, I haven't been impressed with him recently. I think he's won one in his last 5 or 6, something like that. It's been a tough go for him, and Oliveira's been hot. His only loss in his last probably 5 or 6 fights is to Yancey, and he had every chance to finish that.
He almost finished Yancey in that a couple times.
So I'm rolling with Oliveira. Maybe a dick kick in there.
Wait. That's the new thing. Anytime he fights, guess the number of groin strikes. The groin strikes. I'm guessing 2.
I go 1.
Oh.
No, you know, I'm going 0. I'm going early knockout, so 0.
2. I'm going to go 1. I'll take the 1.
2 strikes to the groin.
What we need to do is just set an over-under.
Yeah.
And
over-under's at 1, and I'm going under.
I'm going to take...
I'll go over.
Can I take the push?
Yeah, take the push.
So we did not get anywhere from my over-under.
No. So, anyways. Gunni's probably getting kicked in the dick. John Kavanaugh. Make sure he packs that cup. But I'm going Oliveira. I got an early knockout for him. Gunni hasn't been impressive. No. I think he gets that chin checked real early.
I was going to go a second round finish, but the case of submission is interesting just in the sense of if he catches Gunni and he goes, for a shitty takedown, or if he's just like up against the cage and he takes his back or something. I'll go with second round TKO for Oliveira.
All right. Now we go into
A banger.
bigger boys here.
Yeah. And this is Thiago's. Is this his second or third fight at 205?
Second. Because him and Anders didn't cut the 85 that last fight, did they?
Marte.
Because Anders took it on short notice.
I believe so.
So this is at least his second in a row.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I think it's his second one at 205. It might be his third.
Yeah.
Regardless, he has a little bit of experience at 205.
Yeah. He well didn't. Wait, no.
He filled in
Really?
on short notice for somebody. Oh, Santos took that last fight on short notice too. He was supposed to fight somebody else. They pulled out, and Anders took their spot.
Hasn't Thiago Santos fought? Like, didn't he fight Jan and a few other top guys?
Yeah,
at
he's fought a
205?
couple times
Yeah.
at 205.
Eric Anders.
Holland's an 85, or Branch is an 85, or Anthony
Yeah.
Smith was at 85. Maybe not. I thought he filled in for somebody at 205.
Yeah, why?
Scroll down. It might have been a while ago.
Wait, what in the world? I am so confused right now. Who was it that I was thinking about then? Oh, you know who it was? Jared Cannonier. Cannonier's who
Went opposite.
who
Went
who
from
flipped.
205
Wait,
to 85.
yeah. And then wait, were they supposed to fight? And then Branch got that whole thing of Branch, the whole 185 to 205 Branch, because got pulled out of his fight with Jacare and then Cannonier.
There's been a whole lot of movement at 85.
I got so confused right there. I was thinking Cannonier,
Yeah,
how he flipped, and then Thiago Santos went.
You didn't even
the
make the
other
full
way.
circle of like your thought. You just went half circle, and then you did another turn
And then
the other direction.
I lifted up the pencil and I went and did another half circle
over there.
Regardless, irrelevant.
Regardless, for this fight, I am gonna go with Thiago Santos in a second round knockout. I haven't been really impressed with Jimmy Manuwa ever since he got knocked out by Volkan. Before that, I thought that he may have been he kept talking shit to DC. He was like trying to make his run at the title shot, and he got shut up early in that Volkan fight. And so I think with a guy like Thiago Santos that is always going to have that same power to put you out in one punch, I think Manuwa, if he fights timid, then I think he's just going to be worried about getting hit the whole time, and it's still going to come. And then if he's not fighting timid, I think he's going to move forward and get hit by Santos either way. So either way, I think I have Santos winning this by knockout, most likely in the second round. Early in the second round.
It's a tough one. I think this is obviously going to be won by a TKO at some point.
Yeah.
I would
Most
say in
likely.
the first 2 rounds. Jimmy Manuwa, as you said, hasn't looked that great in his last 2 fights. And they haven't been, I believe, that close. I think it's been pretty spaced out, the fights.
Yeah, he hasn't been fighting very frequently.
Yeah, he had a decent gap. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been 3 fights over 2 years. So he hasn't been super active. Santos has looked good in his recent fights.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'm going to stick with the bigger guy. I think I'm going to stay with Jimmy Manuwa. He's got the reach. He's comfortable at 2. I think he uses his boxing in this one. Gets it done. Like I said, it's going to be a knockout regardless. It's going to be a good fight. An exciting fight for you guys to tune into.
Yeah, for sure.
So you want to see somebody go to sleep, this is going to be your fight to watch.
Yeah, I definitely have this as a potential fight of the night. This was the hardest one for me to pick on this card. I went back and forth a lot on it because they're both heavy-handed. They're both excellent strikers. They've both been knocked out, so it's hard to say. It came down to Santos throws a higher volume, absorbs less strikes for me. And he's got a little bit of grappling he can fall back on if he needs to. So I've got Santos by second round KO. Regardless of this is very good potential to be your fight of the night.
Yeah.
This could be a back and forth, just slugfest.
Yeah, this one's truly a coin flip in my opinion. It could literally go either way. Now we move on to
something that I don't think will be much of a coin flip, personally.
Yep.
I mean, I enjoy watching Valentina and JJ fight. The only problem with me is, with this fight and this matchup, is that I think that, so JJ usually throws punches and bunches and she wears people down just by her meticulous, super technical striking over time. She's fighting someone who can throw the exact same volume. Joanna might be a little bit faster and quicker to land her strikes, but Valentina is going to be bigger at 125 because she was fighting at 135, moves down, Joanna moves up. So I think be able to throw harder than Joanna. So I think Joanna might land more strikes earlier in the fight, but I think come the second and third round, you're definitely going to see Valentina's size and just her overall experience just kind of take over. And I think similar to her Muay Thai fights that she had with Joanna, she's going to probably win this via decision is how I see it going.
Yeah, I 100% agree on your pick and the finish. I think it's going to be Shevchenko via decision. I think you can run this fight 10 times and Shevchenko is going to win probably 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Most likely.
I think it's just one of those matchups where, you know, she's the stronger fighter, but she has insane cardio where she's going to be able to stick with Joanna. It's not like Joanna's going to truly wear her down. And you've seen these girls both go 5 rounds, both look insanely fresh in the 5th round, throwing volume like crazy.
Yep.
I think, given a chance, Joanna, if this fight goes to decision, she's going to have the puncher's chance in that decision being, you know, if you get some of the, depending who the judges are, you get the judges that are looking at fight statistics, volume landed, that kind of stuff.
Volume rather than damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joanna has that chance of stealing the fight that way. But I think overall, it's going to be so close in strikes landed. Shevchenko is going to land more with damage.
Yeah, she's going to land more significant strikes.
She should win the fight, but I could see this one being kind of closer. Like I said, depending on the judges, but I'm picking Shevchenko decision.
Yeah. Same thing. It's Shevchenko. This is another potential fight of the night, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a
very exciting fight.
Normally I'm not somebody that gets super geeked about a women's fight, but I'm very much looking forward to this one.
And the last 2 JJ Rose fights have been incredible. Yeah. I've loved watching both of those fights, and so
especially the second one.
Yeah, especially the second one. I think this one's going to have a similar path in the second one. That JJ, she threw, like, I think JJ was the one that threw leg kicks at Rose early, and she was successful in landing leg kicks, and she was successful in landing a jab, but she didn't really land any like strikes that wobbled Rose or did anything to Rose, and when Rose was landing, it was much more significant. I think this one's going to be even more exaggerated than that one, that Joanna might be landing a decent bit of strikes on Valentina, but I think she's going to walk through them and land bigger, heavier shots on everyone.
I agree with that, but I think you bringing that up, if Joanna can utilize these leg kicks early, like she did against Rose, Shevchenko's very much a kickboxer, Muay Thai. She's going to use her legs. If Joanna can take those away, she could change the balance of the fight that way. So she's picking apart those legs early. That could change the course of the fight and kind of swing it her way.
To that point, though, because they're both Muay Thai fighters, Shevchenko is not your typical MMA person who's going to eat it.
Yeah.
She's going to check them.
But, you know, if you disguise them well in combos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not just throwing a leg kick, if you're ending a combination.
Yeah, that could be something to watch.
Right.
I mean, if you watch her, you know,
that'd be a good way to slow her down, because Joanna probably knows, well, I'm most likely not going to finish this fight, so I kind of got to tear her down round by round. So
and Joanna, usually, if you watch her, I've watched a decent amount of her fights, she usually tries to end her combos with a kick or start it with a kick.
Yeah. You'll be able, the thing with this fight, historically, Joanna is a very slow starter. Yep. She usually takes a round and a half to get going. And that normally works to her favor because at 115, Andrade, Gadelha, these girls that are throwing heavy hands and trying to wrestle are getting tired.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen with Shevchenko.
No.
It's just not. Shevchenko's only 2 losses are to Nunes, and they were extremely controversial losses. So I just don't see Shevchenko wearing down. You'll be able to tell where this fight's at in the beginning of the 3rd round.
Yes.
If Joanna starts finding her range and starts picking apart Shevchenko, then I think she's probably going to take those championship rounds.
Yeah.
But Shevchenko could very well use her grappling because she's a better grappler than Joanna.
I
But
agree with that.
she's also not a power wrestler. Like, she's going to use more Muay Thai trips.
Yeah. Technique.
Yeah. So she's not going to tire herself down trying to muscle her to the mat. I've got Shevchenko. She's got a better gas tank than most people that Joanna's fought. Stand-up wise, they're extremely close. But the grappling of Shevchenko, I think, makes a difference. Plus, how much is Valentina going to be in her head with 2 Muay Thai wins? Yep. Is that going to make Joanna come out and press? And she might get herself in trouble early then.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shall see.
And now on to probably the best pure MMA fight I think the UFC has booked in a very long time.
Yeah, this one has been a long time coming in, and just keep praying that both fighters actually make it to the cage this time. I know this.
Ortega's from parts unknown too.
I know Ortega's from parts unknown, but just praying that they both make it to the octagon this time. And I've been starting it off, so I'll let one of you guys start it off. But I think we actually are all gonna be.
Well, yeah, we're probably gonna all fall the same way.
Yeah. So this fight's been what?
Almost a year.
Almost a year building. You know, Brian Ortega, the hottest prospect in MMA probably, or at least the UFC. 14-0.
I would argue Israel Adesanya just because I am a huge fan, but he's definitely the hottest prospect in
hottest contender.
Yeah.
14-0, winning the majority of those fights by stoppage. 50% of his wins by submission, 21 by knockout. I mean, we saw that knockout
against Frankie.
I have that in my keys here for Brian Ortega. He's always advancing, adapting to MMA skill set, not just that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skill set that he's came in with. You see his striking improve in every fight. You saw it in the Cub Swanson fight. That's his true coming out party for me, was the Cub Swanson fight. Because you're like, all right, we know you're great at Jiu-Jitsu. But you saw him slowly show off that striking skill. Moving around, he looked way more comfortable. And then the Frankie fight.
Knocking Frankie out's impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
A guy that's never been stopped before in his career, that's impressive. As we all know, Ortega's jiu-jitsu, hands down one of the best in MMA, period. I mean, you give that guy an inch, he's going to take your neck.
He's just slick.
His jiu-jitsu,
he's some of the slickest jiu-jitsu.
His jiu-jitsu is on par with Khabib's wrestling.
He has,
as far as it's a good fail-safe for him.
Yeah, he has the best MMA adaptive jiu-jitsu where it's
right.
When you see the
he can grab it
it's not like
anywhere.
Like Damian Maia is one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners in all of MMA, but he doesn't have the best way of going about setting it up.
Right.
He doesn't have super aggressive wrestling. He doesn't have super great striking to camouflage it and to get him in takedown. But Ortega is one of those guys that can stand in front of you. And then it's one of those things where he might work into a clinch, and then once he gets into that clinch, he could pull guard on you and pull a guillotine. He can just do these slick things you don't see coming with his jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
Yep.
The things I have for Ortega to look like weakness-wise, we really haven't seen him in championship rounds. We haven't seen him go five rounds.
He hasn't been in one.
So we got to see what his cardio, what his gas tank looks like after round 4 or 5. And that's similar to what we said about Joanna. That's where Max excels. Round 3, 4, 5, that's where the dude puts it on. And for Ortega as well, is he going to be able to take that damage retention from Max Holloway? The dude's going to be throwing volume. We've seen him fight. He comes out there. He doesn't stop throwing from the first second of the first round to the fifth minute of the 5th round. He's going to pressure you. He's going to be in your face. For Max, I got some stats here for you. His key attributes, I'm saying, look at his heart and his cardio. He never stops, like I said, he never stops pushing forward. You never see him tired. Even throwing his 300 strikes in 3 rounds, he's not tired. He's just keep walking forward. And going with that, his striking volume and variety. He's going to be mixing it up. Yeah. No matter what you see, he's throwing crazy combos. He's throwing crazy kicks, different styles of punches. But like you got to look on the opposite side for Max. His weight cut,
Yep.
Yeah,
We've seen that in a couple.
That's the biggest issue.
His biggest weakness right now, we got to see if he makes it to the octagon, if he can get in there and fight. Now, if he gets in there, we got to look for the ring rust. He's had a year layoff. He's had the 2 injuries, the health scare with the concussion. So, see how healthy he is. See if any of those things play a factor. Hopefully, he makes it in there 100% healthy. Both these guys, I should say, make it in there 100% healthy. We get one of the best fights we've seen in a while. I'm going to pick Max Holloway in a 4th round TKO. I think he just puts that pressure on like he does to everybody. He's just going to keep pushing forward. I got my Max shirt on. He's just going to keep pushing forward. And he's going to eventually wear him down like he did to Aldo, did to Pettis, like he does to everybody else. Punches and bunches, never gets tired. And I think he's got, a 2-inch reach advantage, something like that.
No, they're even. 69-inch, they're even.
Yeah, he's going to use his, he's got a leg reach advantage, I think it is. He's going to use that kind of range to keep pushing it outside. I don't think he's going to be afraid to tie it up with Ortega. I don't think he's going to initiate like a tie-up against the cage. But I don't think he's going to be afraid. That's just not the way he is.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick Max 4th round TKO.
Okay. This fight's very interesting to me. Just because Max's whole volume game plan, marching forward game plan, he starts slow in the first couple rounds because he's trying to see what kind of power you're going to bring.
Yes. That's what he said about Aldo. Feeling out the punch. Once he feels your punch, he wants to see, I take this?
If he feels comfortable that
Okay,
he can take it, then you're in trouble. Now, Ortega literally lifted Frankie Edgar off of the ground with an uppercut.
Yeah, but Frankie should be a 35er.
Well, that's true.
He's also like 40.
And
that's true.
And Ortega could also probably fight at middleweight.
Yeah. But what my point is Ortega is probably the hardest hitter at 45 right now. Outside of, there's probably guys that hit harder, but they're those wrestlers that, you know what I mean? Striking-wise, hardest hitter, a little more versatile than most of these 45ers are. This is a very interesting matchup for Max because if Ortega can clip him, or even if he hits him solidly once and Max goes, "Oh, I don't know how many of those I can eat," that may changes his whole game plan going forward. Now, with that being said, Ortega doesn't land a whole lot of punches successfully. He only has a 32% land rate at 3.6 punches per minute, and he eats 5.2 a minute at a 44% clip. Max lands 6 punches a minute. So
6 punches a second.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like it. So, every round starts standing up. So there's a chance that Ortega could land with some power and change Max's game plan, especially because with his health problems this past year, you don't know if that has affected his chin.
Mm-hmm. Or I don't think it's going to affect his cardio, but it could. The way he trains for that stuff. Some of that could have affected that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But I have to go off what I've seen. I have to go off what the numbers say. And, Max has just looked unstoppable since that fight with Conor 5-6 years ago, whatever it was.
It was
2013, wasn't it?
2013.
Yeah.
August 17th, 2013. Last loss to Conor McGregor.
So, being that it has to start standing up, and the other thing with Ortega, his jiu-jitsu is good. He's only landed 14% of his takedowns in the UFC.
Yeah.
So his wrestling game's not real good.
No.
So
they're opportunistic.
Yeah.
So I think if Max can avoid the clinch a little bit, avoid those where you're close and tangling up, I think it's Max's fight to lose as long as he's in good health.
Yeah.
If he's in good health, I think he's gonna run through Ortega. I really do. I would say third. I wrote down 4th round KO, but the more I think about it, it could be a 2nd or 3rd. Ortega has traditionally tried to strike with people anyways.
Yeah.
And if he starts getting pieced up, he's like, okay, give me your neck.
To the clinch.
Yeah, give me your neck. And I just don't know. I don't think Max is going to fall into that trap. I mean, you brought up the Cub Swanson fight. We talked about it the other day.
Yeah.
Cub was piecing him up a lot.
Cub did. And Cub doesn't throw as often or with the same technique that Max does. And so that's, I mean, we're all on the same page. I have Max winning this as well. And so what I think is going to happen is that Max is going to start to frustrate Ortega. He's going to land the better shots. And then when Ortega tries to close that distance and get Max against the cage, he's not going to be successful in coaxing Max into trying to do something different to then take his neck or take his back. I think Max is going to be too smart and too experienced for that. I think he's going to be able to circle away, get off the cage, and then get back into that throwing in the center of the octagon and just slowly wear Ortega down. And I think it's going to be the late third round or like mid fourth round stoppage. I think Max is going to finish it.
I think going off the same thing, I think this fight is going to take place in the octagon, inside the octagon. If you look at the black tape, they make the octagon there. I think this fight's going to take place there. I think anytime Ortega tries to back him down against the cage, once he gets hit a little bit and he's like, I'm going to try to play my game here and get you against the cage, try to find a hole, Max is just going to rotate out, spin out. If he does get him against the cage, it could be a very different fight.
Yeah.
Like you seen against, we brought up the Cub Swanson fight. Cub Swanson, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, almost got choked out at the end of the first round in about 12 seconds. Ortega slapped that on there. And then in the second round, same thing.
Yeah.
It happens fast, and you can do it against even the best Jiu-Jitsu people. So I think that can change, but I think Max is just going to keep, like you said, rotating, pushing, and he's just going to keep pushing it away, moving it back to the center. He's going to try to fight in that center of the octagon, right on that monster logo.
Yeah.
He's just going to try to keep it there because, as you said, Ortega doesn't have the best takedown percentage. So keeping it away from the cage, you're taking away a huge helping factor.
Yeah.
So he's just going to try to keep it in the middle, keep his range, and land, obviously, as much as he can.
Yeah, and, I mean, we haven't seen many people walk Max down striking anyways. He's not the kind of guy that's going to...
He's not going to give that inch.
He's going to plant his feet and be like, let's go.
If you're moving towards me, I'm going to throw right back. I'm not backing down. He doesn't want to be that guy that people are saying backed out.
Yeah, he's not. He's just going to dig in. He's got that old school dog in him where, let's go. You want to bring it to me, but I'm not backing away from you.
And I think it'll be interesting, too, we obviously know how great Brian Ortega is with jiu-jitsu. If he does get him in some sort of submission, whatever it is, I don't think Max is the type of guy that's going to tap out from that. I think he's gonna fight that.
Unless it's an armbar. He might tap for an armbar, but an actual choke.
Yeah, a joint submission.
You said choke, not submission,
but it'll be
he won't
interesting
sacrifice, he's not going to sacrifice months off his career to heal.
It's going to be interesting to see how much he can fight out of that if he does get in one of those sticky situations. So that'll be fun to watch as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is probably one of the best stylistic matchups we've seen in the UFC in a while. Two great fighters, two very different styles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, this is up there for one of the strongest cards of the year.
Depending on how the fights actually play out, it could be one of the best cards of the year for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime Max is fighting, it's a great card. Max, if you want to come on the show, I'm a huge fan. Now let's talk about Bush's. Did you get Luis Pena to come on the show yet?
No, I did not get Luis. He's too busy trying to cut down to 145.
Yeah, he's cutting weight right now.
Reason he decided he wants to.
Or Portuguese for Dummies.
Portuguese for Dummies.
For Christmas.
Yes.
So coming soon in Portuguese.
Subtitles on the bottom.
Well, that's our wrap up for UFC 231. We have a few more cards coming for the end of the year. Another big one with 232 at the end of the year with John Jones making his return. And then starting up early next year, we have a ton of UFC ESPN Plus cards.
Yeah,
we'll be making these videos for.
We got 2.5 months straight from January 19th through the middle of March or something like that.
So we will have a lot of different information coming about. All these different fights. We'll have our predictions going up. Maybe some UFC news and rumors coming up. So if you like what you see, Subscribe, stick around. We're going to put these videos up pretty frequently, hopefully as many of the UFC cards that we can. So stick around, drop a like on the video if you like it, and yeah.
Should the lip sweaters stay?
The lip sweaters.
Lip sweaters are gone tomorrow, my friend.
So, load sec, one sec, let me get it. Is it still curled? Is it still curled?
It's pretty curly still. I've been keeping an eye on it.
Oh, look at that. Not bad. Call me Cousin Creepy.
Cousin?
The Cousin Creepy cast.
Hey, McCall, that's a call out to you. You want to come on the show?
I'm going to call you Gunther.
Oh.